this is what I call an investigation. Out in the wild, observing the feeding habits of wild animals. My every sense geared to stop me from becoming somebody else's dinner.
Well, actually, I spent the day here at Whipsnade Wild Animal Park finding out what you can tell about an animal from its diet. Let's see how much I've learnt.
This week on Blind Diet, we've got 3 great animals. Well, welcome to the show, Femi.
Thank you.
What you've got to do is guess what animals are lurking behind the screen, but all you've got to go on is what they've had for dinner. So first, number 1.
This is a day's food here. Well, it's certainly a plant eater, a herbivore, and because it eats grass or hay, which has a very low nutritional value, I guess it spends a lot of its time just eating. This is a huge amount of food for just one day, which means it's a big herbivore. No, they don't eat fruit, do they? I think it's a large deer or antelope.
Well, let's go behind the screen and see if you're right.
Whoa! Hello, you've been very quiet back here, haven't you? Now, Peter, how can an animal this size get all the nutrients it needs from just grass and a bit of fruit and veg?
Well, one thing, Femi, is that they do eat very large quantities of food. But what's really interesting is that they get lots of minerals and salts by eating earth. So what about number 2? Now, what do you make of this animal, Femi?
A meat eater. We have a carnivore behind the screen. Well, meat is an excellent source of nutrients, so this animal doesn't have to spend all its time eating.
But bears are omnivores. They don't just eat meat, they also eat grass and fruit.
On the other hand, it could be an energetic meat eater. It's not a big cat like a tiger or a cheetah, is it?
That's exactly right. Come and have a look.
Cheetah. Well, I'm pleased there's a fence.
But in the wild, Femi, cheetahs can starve to death. They use so much energy catching their food, they've got none left to stop other animals, like lions, from stealing it. And finally, Femi, number 3. Small birds. But, Femi, number 3 only eats about once every 10 days or so.
Now, if it eats that infrequently, it can't use that much energy.
So it's not going to move around much. But a crocodile would need to eat more than that. Maybe it's a snake.
I was right. Meat barrel.
Boa constrictors are extremely efficient eaters. Their bodies can digest nearly everything they eat, including the animal's bones.